The truth about Coachella, fame, fashion, and the festival that changed everything. Every April, in the heart of the sun-scorched California desert, something strange and spectacular unfolds. From all corners of the globe, tens of thousands of people migrate to a tiny stretch of land in India, not just for the music, but for something far more elusive. A feeling, an image, a lifestyle. For one weekend, or sometimes two, they trade reality for fantasy. They become part of a dream sold in sand and sound. This is Coachella. It's a name that echoes far beyond the festival grounds. A cultural juggernaut that defines trends, fuels industries, and turns artists into legends overnight. The fashion, the influencers, the once-in-a-lifetime performances, it's all part of the spectacle. A kaleidoscope of color, chaos, and curated cool. But behind the glittering Instagram posts, behind the desert sunsets and viral moments, lies another story. What really goes on behind the scenes of the world's most famous music festival? How did it evolve from a humble alt-rock gathering into a billion-dollar brand? Who profits from the magic can and who pays the price? This is the untold story of Coachella. A tale of money, music, celebrity, and a cultural machine that never sleeps. Welcome to the deep dive. Chapter 1: The Origin of Coachella. Let's rewind to 1993. Grunge was peaking, the internet was still a mystery to most, and ticket prices for live shows were climbing. Pearl Jam, one of the biggest rock bands in the world at the time, had enough. They took a stand against Ticketmaster, the ticketing giant that dominated the industry and tagged on hefty fees for fans. In protest, Pearl Jam refused to play any venue affiliated with the company. That decision led them to a curious location, a wide, empty polo field in Indio, California. No bleachers, no sound towers, no infrastructure, just open land and a radical idea. While that show didn't become legendary overnight, it laid the groundwork. That dusty patch of earth, in the middle of the desert, would become one of the most iconic stages in music history. Fast forward 6 years to 1999, the music industry was changing. Napster was beginning to disrupt everything, and the underground was pulsing with new sounds. That year, the first ever Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival took place on that same field. It was hot, bare bones, and incredibly risky. Only around 10,000 people showed up. Financially, it was a flop. Organizers lost nearly $1 million. But something intangible happened that weekend. There was a sense of freedom, of boundary-breaking possibility. The blend of electronic music, indie rock, and art installations created a vibe that couldn't be replicated. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't perfect, but for those who were there, it felt like the start of something revolutionary. The early 2000s were make or break. Organizers Paul Tollett and Rick Van Santen, visionaries, with just enough funding and a lot of faith, pushed forward. In 2001, Coachella returned, this time with a more solid lineup and a clearer identity. Acts like Jane's Addiction and the Chemical Brothers signaled that this wasn't going to be your typical rock festival. It was eclectic, immersive, and unafraid to blend genres and generations. The festival began to incorporate more large-scale art pieces, experimental stage design, and a layout that encouraged exploration. Slowly, Coachella was becoming less about seeing a band and more about feeling like you were inside the music. A multi-sensory playground in the desert, unpredictable, electric, and alive. By 2004, Coachella wasn't just surviving, it was becoming sacred. That year, Radiohead performed under the desert sky, delivering a set that would go down in festival lore. Fans didn't just watch, they experienced it. The sound, the atmosphere, the surreal beauty of music echoing across the Coachella Valley, it was cinematic. That night, Coachella became more than a festival. It became a pilgrimage, a rite of passage, a place where music lovers, artists, influencers, and dreamers came together to escape reality and maybe even find themselves in the process. From that moment on, Coachella was no longer the underdog, it was the blueprint. Chapter 2: A place where legends rise. Coachella has become a rite of passage. For artists, it's a career milestone and arrival. For fans, it's a pilgrimage. And for pop culture, it's a mirror reflecting what matters now. To headline Coachella is to step into a spotlight that reaches far beyond the stage. It's not just about the music, it's about the moment capturing something bigger than sound. From surprise reunions to debut performances, Coachella has transformed into a stage where music history is made, not just performed. Some moments are burned into cultural memory. In 2018, Beyoncé's now iconic Coachella performance wasn't just a headlining set, it was a masterwork of intention, choreography, and power. She honored Black culture, HBCU traditions, and feminism while setting a new standard for what a festival performance could be. Years earlier, in 2006, Daft Punk unveiled their Pyramid Stage, a groundbreaking electronic performance that redefined live EDM. 2012, Tupac's hologram stunned the world, performing beside Snoop Dogg in a moment that blurred the lines between nostalgia and technology. Each of these performances didn't just trend, they reshaped the expectations of what live music can feel like. And the legend continues to grow. Artists like Lady Gaga, Frank Ocean, The Weeknd, and Blackpink have all stepped onto that desert stage, leaving behind moments that resonate far beyond the festival grounds. Gaga proved power and presence, Frank Ocean brought vulnerability and intimacy. The Weeknd transformed heartache into a high-production spectacle. And Blackpink's headlining set made global music history. These aren't just performances, they're living, breathing memories. Because at Coachella, every set has the potential to become myth. Chapter 3: The Money Machine. But what drives Coachella isn't just the music, or the art, or even the ethereal energy of the desert, it's business. The numbers don't lie. Coachella is a massive economic powerhouse. In 2023 alone, the festival raked in over $115 million in revenue. To put that into perspective, that's more than the GDP of some small countries. Coachella isn't just a festival. It's an intricate business operation with deep roots in entertainment, branding, and commerce. The festival's entire ecosystem is built on creating a one-of-a-kind experience while simultaneously generating enormous profits. Every ticket sold, every branded product displayed, and every luxury item purchased contributes to the bottom line of this desert spectacle. The cost of entry to this world is high, and it's not just the ticket. General admission can cost several $100s, but for those seeking the full experience, VIP tickets go up to $1,200 or more. If you want to camp, that's an extra charge. And if you need a shower or somewhere to recharge your phone, you'll pay for that too. Then there are the brands and influencers that have turned Coachella into a marketing powerhouse. From Heineken to Adidas, companies fight for visibility, setting up elaborate installations and experiences throughout the festival. The festival has become a prime location for brands to engage with a young, influential crowd. And let's not forget the influencers who are often paid thousands of dollars just to show up, wear a specific outfit, or post a sponsored story. At Coachella, every part of the experience has been monetized, turning the festival into not just a celebration of music, but a global marketing event. The festival's true power lies not only in what happens on stage, but in the content it generates across social media, with influencers turning every post into currency. Chapter 4: Fashion Capital of the Desert. It's not just a music festival, it's a fashion show. Coachella has become the ultimate stage for personal expression through fashion, where what you wear can speak louder than the music playing in the background. The festival is a celebration of fringe, mesh, glitter, cowboy boots, and sometimes not much at all. It's a place where bold fashion statements are embraced, and where creativity flows as freely as the music. The outfits here aren't just about looking good, they're about embodying a vibe, a lifestyle, and a moment in time. What you choose to wear can land you on the front page of Vogue or make you the next viral sensation on Instagram's Explore page, cementing your status as a part of the Coachella cultural machine. As the festival's fashion influence grows, brands have jumped on the bandwagon. Entire collections are designed and launched with Coachella-inspired looks in mind, filling store shelves with flowy dresses, bohemian accessories, and festival-ready footwear. Coachella has essentially become the unofficial start of the spring-summer fashion season. The looks seen on the desert runway now shape global trends, influencing everything from haute couture to fast fashion. Luxury brands, fast fashion giants, and even sustainable labels create exclusive collections designed specifically for the festival scene, fueling the connection between high fashion and festival culture. Celebrities have played a huge role in solidifying Coachella's place in the fashion world. Figures like Kendall Jenner, Harry Styles, and Vanessa Hudgens have become icons of the Coachella look. Their outfits, often photographed and dissected across social media, have shaped what it means to be seen at Coachella. Their style choices, sometimes daring, always memorable, set the tone for fans and followers alike. At Coachella, the boundary between celebrity culture and the everyday festival goer has blurred, with everyone vying for that Instagram-worthy moment. It's no longer just about who's on stage, it's about who's dressed the best on the festival grounds. Of course, there are critiques as Coachella's fashion influence grows, so to do concerns about cultural appropriation, the use of indigenous, Native American, and other cultural symbols in festival attire without understanding or respect for their meaning. There's also growing backlash against the excessive, sometimes exorbitant costs of festival fashion, the promotion of unattainable ideals, and the tendency for appearance to overshadow the actual festival experience. Still, the desert catwalk shows no sign of slowing down. Fashion at Coachella continues to evolve, sometimes controversial, always influential, as it sets the stage for the world's biggest fashion trends each year. Chapter 5: Behind the Curtain. But behind the scenes, the glamour fades and the reality of Coachella sets in. Working at the festival isn't all VIP access and neon lights, it's 16-hour shifts, sweltering desert heat, and back-to-back logistics. The production teams, including stagehands, lighting designers, and AV crews, begin their work weeks in advance, transforming the empty desert fields into a world-class music venue. These unsung heroes work tirelessly, often in grueling conditions, to ensure everything runs smoothly. The heat can be unbearable, the hours long, and the pressure high, but the show must go on. For many, it's a labor of love, but it's also a labor that comes with serious physical and mental demands. Then there's the army of security guards who face a whole other set of challenges. Their job involves handling everything from dehydration to managing partygoers in various states of inebriation, all while keeping the peace in one of the largest crowds in the country. Chaos isn't uncommon, and the stress of managing large crowds and keeping everything running smoothly can sometimes lead to dangerous situations. The stories of what goes wrong, though rarely talked about, often get buried beneath the sparkling success of the festival. It's a world of hard work, high stakes, and little recognition, yet essential for keeping the festival experience intact for the attendees. Amid the glitz, darker undercurrents persist: labor disputes, environmental concerns, and political controversy. Coachella's environmental impact is significant, with thousands traveling to the desert, contributing to its carbon footprint. The festival's parent company, AEG, has faced criticism for its ties to conservative political donations, leading some artists to boycott in protest. These issues often get overshadowed by Coachella's glamorous reputation, but for some, they reveal a much more complex reality beneath the surface. Chapter 6: The Future of Coachella. So what's next for Coachella? More immersive art, more digital integration, maybe even a virtual Coachella in the metaverse. There's talk of international expansion, and the festival lineup keeps evolving, incorporating more Latin artists, K-pop, Afrobeats, and experimental genres. In a way, Coachella reflects the state of pop culture itself. Every year, it reinvents what it means to gather in celebration. But can it keep its soul as the spotlight grows brighter? So is Coachella the ultimate music utopia? Or the world's most expensive selfie? Maybe it's both, maybe that's the paradox. A place where dreams meet marketing, where art meets influence. Where you go not just to listen but to be seen, either way. The desert calls again next April. Will you answer? If you enjoyed this deep dive, we've got more coming, stories behind the headlines, the hidden truth behind your favorite icons and events. Hit that like button if this gave you a new perspective, subscribe if you want to go deeper. And let us know in the comments, would you go to Coachella? Or is it all hype? Thanks for watching, stay curious.